Now then everybody, it's Dan from homephysique.com. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a protein bar with a bit of a difference. The difference being that my protein bar, although very similar to a lot of recipes that are out there, mine's got a little bit of a chocolate coating on it just to give it a bit more of that authenticity. These taste great, very soft, very got a lot of good texture going on there, and the chocolate really makes the difference. So in this video I'm going to show you how to make them. To make these bars, it's very simple. It's a no-bake recipe. So basically you're just going to make up a mixture, set it aside in the freezer to harden, and then basically that's it, it's done. To begin with, you're going to need some whey protein. I'm using PVL's Mutant Whey here, and you're going to use about 140 grams worth of it. That's not 140 grams worth of protein macro, but 140 grams of protein powder. You're going to need 50 grams of oats. You can use any type of oats, I'm just using standard oats here. You're going to want some almond flakes, 20 grams of them. You're going to want some 20 grams of pecan nuts, make sure you chop them up quite finely. About 65 grams of peanut butter. You can use crunchy if you want. Smooth is probably easier to use, but crunchy will give you a much better textured bar. You want about 20 grams of Nutella. Literally only a little bit, it just makes that little bit of difference without going crazy on the calories. You're also going to want about a teaspoon of cinnamon and maybe half a teaspoon of ginger, depending on your taste. It's quite strong as ginger, so just go steady with it. For honey, you want to use about 50 grams. You, again, use any type of honey. The stronger the honey, the more overpowering it'll be, so a mild honey is sometimes better to use here. Another thing to add to taste here is half to a teaspoon of vanilla essence. This will just help to give it a kick. Fluid wise, you can use almond milk or whatever type of milk you want, as long as it's dairy free. I'm using coconut milk here, and to be honest, you can do this recipe with just water, so it's up to you what you choose to use. You can use anywhere between maybe 50 to 100 ml of milk, but just add it as you're mixing it, just to work off the texture. If you add too much at once, then you're screwed really. So you're going to want to use about 50 ml of this coconut milk. This will just help to bind everything together. Nutritional wise, this makes about 8 bars, roughly around 210 calories per bar, 15 grams of protein, 14 grams of carbs, 8 grams of sugar, 10 grams of fat, and 2 grams of fibre. This is before you add the chocolate topping, which to be honest is about 20 calories each. So all in all, the bars are going to be 230 calories a pop. So really, if you don't want to add the chocolate, don't add it, but if you do, it makes the world of difference. So there you go. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to have to get yourself a bowl, take your nuts, bang them in, jobs are good on. You're going to need to have yourself a set of digital scales for this. Zero your bowl and the nuts, and then basically just whack in your protein powder. I'm using Mutant Whey's vanilla here. You can use any flavour you want. I've just got a massive tub of this, so this is what I'm going to use. Like I say, try to measure out 140 grams because this is what I know works for this level of liquid and the other ingredients. So once you've done that, just go out the way. Also, to add into your dry mixture, add your teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Oh, there, enough. Again, half a teaspoon of ginger. You don't want to put too much of this in because it is quite strong. It can overpower everything else. can already smell it. So then you want 50 grams of oats. You can use the more coarse grain ones if you want, it'll just give it more texture, that's all. Basically that's your dry mixture there. Just give it a quick swirl around, get it all mixed up nicely, evenly distributed. Stick that to one side for now. So in this bowl you're going to be mixing your wet ingredients. Again, zero the bowl. I'm going to put 65 grams of peanut butter in there. You can either use 2 spoons to do this or use your fingers like a dirty tramp, which I am, but I'm going to use a spoon today. Get about 20 grams of Nutella. Get your vanilla extract. About literally half a teaspoon is enough to a teaspoon. Splash that in there like that. It's strong stuff, so again be careful. You want to take your honey. You want about 50 grams of this. It's good stuff, is honey. Much better than sugar. And finally you're going to add your coconut milk. You can weigh this out, it's literally 1 litre is about a kilo, so go for about 50 grams, maybe a bit more depending on how you need it. That'll do. Right, so what you're going to do now is you're going to bang all this in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Just to get it all melted. Okay. Literally it doesn't take long to get that warm, you can feel a lot of heat on there already. So what you need to do, grab a spoon and just start to basically work it in. Ooh, try not to spill it everywhere like that, but just mix it in like that. See, looks not very good, but I'll tell you now, the smell's amazing. What you need to do is just keep mixing it up until it all sort of like knits together and forms like a sauce. And then once you've done that, you pour all this into your dry mix, and away you go. Don't get ahead of yourself though, don't start like that's not mixed, there's still massive chunks of peanut butter in there. You want to get that, it needs to be runny as hell, you know what I mean. When the chocolate starts to melt into the peanuts, it does really does start to smell like Snickers. Alright. Must not drink. That's about alright. That's good to go. So quickly lick your spoon because you're a fat. Oh yeah. Make yourself like a little well in the powder mix. Take this and whack it in there. Get it straight in there. All in there. Lovely jubbly. Make sure you get it all in there as well because you're going to need all of this. So, you know, it doesn't look like much now, but once it's all hunky-dory it'll be swell. So get cracking. Now remember what I said before at the start, if it looks like it's not going to come together, if it looks like it's too dry, then all you have to do is literally just add a little tiny, and I mean tiny drop of the of the almond milk or coconut milk or water or whatever you're using, just to help bring it together. If you use too much, it'll just turn to slop. So it's always better to just add a very tiny amount at a time. Like, this isn't too bad, to be honest. It's coming together quite well. Probably just do with a little bit, that's all. So I literally add a little splash of this. I mean, we don't even need to worry about the calories on that. It's next to nothing. Just make sure you get it all mixed up good. Smells awesome. When I did these last time, I used chocolate whey. So this is just a vanilla one. So that's it really. Once you're finished, it should look like that. Pretty damn sticky. I remember most people would say, "Oh, that looks like dog turd." It does, but when we're finished and it's got chocolate on it, it'll look like a proper one you get from the shops. Alright, so what you need to do now is you need to get yourself a dish. No matter what size you use really, just so long as you're happy with what the size is going to be like when you cut it up into 8 pieces, because it'll all be the same no matter what. What you need to do now, you need to get yourself some grease-proof paper or wax paper. Spray your dish, just a little bit of grease, just to help, mainly to help this stick. Shove that in there like that. Get it in there nice and tight to the ball. Again, quick spray. That's all you need. You don't even need to worry about it. It's literally just a spray. Now you can either use a spoon or your fingers. If you use your fingers, it will stick to you and it will be a pain in the ass to get off your hands. So just try and spoon it in there like a big fresh crimp. And then just basically push it in like this. This is the hardest bit because it sticks to the spoon, you see. If you're using like a plastic spoon, it'd be a lot easier. Now, one thing I found to do was, after this stuff you first, I grab more of this, just quickly spray a piece of this, lay that on top, use that to squash it down. You see, now that once you've got it all into like a certain position, it's a lot easier to do this, and you can use your fingers to push it around rather than if you actually use your fingers directly on it. One, it's gross if you're gonna serve this to other people. Then it's a bit minging to be shoving your fingers all in there. And two, your fingers will stick to it like very easily. So by using this, you can get it all evenly spread out, nice and tidy, and get the thickness the same, because obviously if your thickness is different, it's going to affect the the macro content. Yeah, that's it basically, just like that. Also, I want to apologise if there's too much banging on that. I've not got a separate mic stand, so my mic's taking a lot of the bashing from this here, but it'll be alright. Peel that piece off because you don't need it. And basically whack them in the freezer for about 30 minutes to an hour. That's long enough to for it to set, and then yeah, you do the fun thing next. Okay, so basically after about an hour or so, you've had this in the freezer. Take it out, it should be pretty solid. This is the bit that you'll thank me for using this. Instead of having to like scrape it out, it'll just lift out like that. There's a little bit left over there, but basically that's it. You can get rid of this now. Get yourself a chopping board and basically just flip this over. You see how it's a nice flat shape. It's a lot easier to work with. Get rid of this now. Now what you want to do here is you can either, there's two ways of doing it now. You can either do it straight up like this, or you can make it a bit tidy, you know, and like cut off the gammy edges. It's entirely up to you. I'll just quickly do that. So you can see it slices quite easily. You want to make sure you use a very sharp knife. Again, make sure you ask your mummy and daddy first. Tastes nice like this. Just that chocolate finishes it off. Obviously, don't want to waste anything. Get it down your gob. Right. Well, I'm putting stuff in my face. So you want 8 bars, or however many you want. So do it smart. Find the middle. Score it. Score it again. Score it again. Then find the half of that. Score it. Those are your 8 bars. So do it real fast and sharp and tidy. Press. This should cut quite smart. There you go. So you've got your 8 bars there now, and obviously, as you can see, these look a little bit more, how do I say, retail version, like a proper professional made bar rather than, as most people call it, a dog turd. They actually look like how you'd get them if you've ever had oat flapjack protein bar sort of things. It's the same sort of thing as that. That's what it looks like now. What you're going to do now is just quickly bung these back in the fridge to keep them cold, and you do the final part, which is melting your chocolate coating, or your chocolate if you're using proper chocolate, and then you're just going to either coat one side if you want to keep the calories down, or you can coat the entire thing. I'm just going to coat one side, so just experiment yourself. That's what it's all about. Okay, so what you're going to be doing now is making the chocolate coating. You can basically get chocolate flavoured coating. This is the plain chocolate version, or you can actually get proper chocolate. But if you get proper chocolate, you're going to need to temper it, which is basically heating it, cooling it, heating it. And then what this does is it allows it to form a hard shell at room temperature, which will stop it from sort of melting. You know, it'll sit hard rather than leaving it out and it turns to goop. With this type of chocolate though, this actually does that for you. The difference is that this isn't real chocolate, so the taste isn't as good. But if you're more bothered about taste, use real chocolate, but you'll have to temper it. If you're just looking for effect, then this is fine. Calorie wise, like I said, this is 500 calories per 100 grams, but you're only going to use about 30 grams. So that's 150 calories divided by 8. You're looking at about 20 calories max, if that. per bar, so if you want to rate it on there, be my guest, but I'm not really bothered about 20 calories. Right. Okay, so for this bit, what you need to do is you need to get a pan of hot water. You need to get a bowl, preferably a glass one, but you can use a plastic one as long as you use your head and don't let it melt. Sit that over it. Basically, then what you do is take your chopped chocolate, put it inside, and then it's a case of just waiting for it to melt, really. Now, it's better to use a plastic fork if you've got one, but a metal one's fine. It's just in case you get hot spots on here, it tends to hold onto the metal more, and also with it being metal, the chocolate will sort of like cool on the metal, so you'll end up with like clumps of chocolate on here, which you don't want. Right, so once you've melted your chocolate, what you need to do is get your bars out of the fridge ready, and then basically just grab them, dip them in, swirl them around a bit. Literally that's it. Turn them over, put them on your paper like that. So dip, nice and quick. Don't try and lather them in it, just give them a good coating. Drip it down. Again. You should get a knife as well while you're doing this. That's what I did last time. You just spread it over a bit more evenly. And that's it. Put all your stuff ready away for washing. And what you need to do now is just pop these back in the freezer or fridge. To be honest, the fridge is fine. Just let them set for a bit. Literally it'll take a few minutes and then that's it. You're done. If you was going to coat the other side, what you'd need to do is obviously have a bit more melted chocolate ready. Once this is dried, dip the other side, dip the edges, and that's it, you're done. That's enough for me, I'm happy with that. It's just enough chocolate without sacrificing too many calories, so there you go. Okay, so these are about set. It's been a few minutes, like leave them a bit longer and obviously it'll set harder, but I'm in a bit of a rush. All you need to do now is transfer them over to a tub. They'll keep in your fridge for, I reckon, a week easily, if you can manage not to eat them that long, I suppose. As I said, these are about, if you follow my ingredients to the T, they're about 210 calories without the chocolate, 230 calories with the chocolate. Macros are about 15 grams of protein, 14 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat, and each one's got about 2 grams of fibre in there. And that is literally it. So there you go. I think you'll agree that that doesn't look like a standard dog turd protein bar like most people churn out. Looks like the type of thing you'd actually see in a shop, like a Baker's or something like that. They do taste spot on. I think a lot of the thing is in the eye. If you're looking at something and it looks good to eat, you are going to want to eat it. So these are really quick and easy to make. I know this video is dragged out a bit, but very quick. You can literally bash them out in about 20 minutes easily. That's it. Quick and easy protein bar treat. Can't go wrong with them, really. There you go. I would have one now, but Fortunately, I'm doing IF and it's not time for me to eat. Ooh. So yeah, that's it. Please like the video, share it with friends, add it to your favourites, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'm sure I'll be doing some more of these high protein / bodybuilding recipes, so I'll see you in them, and if not, check out my progress videos and my supplement reviews. Cheers now.